Allie Bailey is one of the UK's most recognisable and inspiring ultra-runners, an athlete, a speaker, and an adventure leader known for her honesty, humour, and fearless approach to endurance. Having completed marathons and ultra-distance events worldwide, Allie has taken on some of the planet's toughest challenges, including multi-day desert races, extreme endurance projects, and record-setting journeys across remote landscapes. But what truly sets Allie apart is her ability to connect with people. She speaks openly about mental health, resilience, and the messy, meaningful side of pushing human limits. Whether she's running 100 miles through the night, crossing entire countries on foot, or guiding others through their first ultramarathon experience, Allie brings authenticity, warmth, and a trademark rebellious spirit that inspires runners and non-runners alike. A storyteller at heart, Allie uses every mile to advocate for adventure as a tool for empowerment, proving that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things when they dare to take the first step. Welcome to the Young Hearts Run Free podcast, Allie Bailey. How are you?
That was quite good for AI, wasn't it?
Our friend AI, open transparency. Our
He's
friend
not
AI
our
did it,
friend.
but it's good, isn't it?
He's not our friend, AI. He's not our friend. But there's one thing that was wrong. There isn't been any records broken. But,
Okay.
well, very good. Did like that. Did think to myself, I think I'm about to get an award. It's like I was going to get an award.
Well,
That's what it was
what
like.
we're also doing is live fact checking AI. So thank you
Yeah.
very much. Thank you very much
There
for
was,
doing that.
yeah, there was not many facts, but I think that's why I think that AI is quite like flimsy with that, isn't it? But I said to you before this, AI has got some things wrong. Like it
Yes.
says Damien's finished Barclay, and apparently I've won Western States. But I'm happy to stick with that I've won Western States story, to be honest.
Maybe that's a premonition.
I don't think it is.
I think, yeah, AI. I like a bit of AI hallucinations. These ones are good when it's in your favour. So let's just stick with it.
Did you just say AI hallucinations?
Yeah,
Imagine that.
that's what. Is that not what it's called when it imagines things that are?
Is it?
Hmm,
God, I'm learning so much and we've only been recording for 3 minutes.
ta-da! Welcome back.
Thanks. Thanks. Welcome back to the School of Life with Steve Watt and John Cassidy.
Well, we're still game.
Very good.
Good
Very
joke.
good.
Bringing it back round.
Last time we were together, we were speaking about um, your book. There is no wall, and we're here
Yeah,
to speak about another. We've got bookends
yeah,
now. We've got bookends.
yeah.
But then you were speaking about how I think the subtitle, if I'm correct, was that running won't save you. Is that
No,
correct?
because it won't.
It won't save you. So you spoke openly about how running didn't save you, and maybe sometimes it made it harder. In what way?
Because I think, do you remember the 80s? In the 80s?
Yeah, I was
In
there.
the 80s, it was a right old riot, wasn't it? I was born in 1981. In the 80s, if you wanted to go running, you would just go running, right? You'd be like, hobby running. Shorts, short shorts, tennis shoes, vest, running, go for a run. Don't know how far you're going or how fast you're going to go. You don't care. And when you get back from running, you don't tell anyone you've been running and you don't write down where you've been or what you've done or how far or how fast it was. You just go about your day and no one knows about the running, right? But now, whenever you go running, you literally have a criticizer on your wrist and a criticizer on the internet saying you're doing okay, but you're not doing that well, or you're productive or you're unproductive. And then you've got all the capability to be able to like compare yourself to people that you don't know all over Strava and all over Instagram. And then there's this, even if you've mentioned running once in your social media, your algorithm will serve you all these fucking running influencers that are like, do this, do that, look like this. Oh, I've just run up Snowdon in my flip flops without any training. And it can just become stressful and like pressury. And I think we live in a society where we believe we should be happy, and if we're not happy, there's something wrong with us, which isn't true because we're human beings. We're going through human experience, and that involves not being very happy sometimes. And I think we do anything to try and make ourselves happy. And running is one of those things that's promoted as, therapy, which it isn't. It's therapeutic, but it's not therapy. And I think people think if it doesn't suddenly make them happy, they're doing it wrong, or they should be doing something different, or going further, or faster, or I don't know, wearing something different, or eating something different, or if it's not making you happy, it you should be doing more to try and make you happy. When actually, if you're unhappy and you're a runner, you're going to be an unhappy runner, right? It, being miserable isn't just about like running isn't going to take that misery away from you. It might make you feel better because you're going to have a sort of scientific thing going on in your body, but it's not going to change it's not going to change your situation. Sorry, I just flipped my phone down on top of me. And I think people expect it to, and that can lead to a higher sense of expectation within it that can end up with your hobby making you miserable. I think there's a lot of people that have got very high expectations of their running based on what they see on the internet. And they seem to forget that most of the stuff they see on the internet is either bullshit or elite athletes. And, most of us are not elite athletes, are we?
It's a very good point. That I wonder how many people, some will, get into running because they see people running on the internet and they look happy. Some of them look happy. So you try something. That doesn't work. So you try that next thing. And then you're always chasing that happiness.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah. Comparison is the thief of joy, isn't it? That's a phrase. Very good. And in the 80s, people were just running about with like a Casio watch, which is coming back. People, so.
Yeah, but we didn't bloody go and knock on everyone's door and say, God, I just took me 20 minutes to run to the end of the road. How long did it take you to run to the end of the road? Did we?
Yeah.
That would be insane.
That's right.
Well, we should turn back. We should make Strava 40 years ago and using the technology we had, putting like a wee sort of note in the local paper, in the column
exactly.
of the paper.
Yeah, exactly. You had to put a notice in the local paper.
Just got this fastest time.
Can you imagine how much more joy you would have if if nobody wore a watch, nobody reported it to Strava? And I say this to a lot of people, athletes, when I first take them on, as when I first start to coach them, I say to them, would you do this if nobody was watching? Would you still run if nobody was watching? If you couldn't post it on the internet, if you couldn't post it on Strava, if you couldn't talk about it, would you still do the things that you're doing? Really think about that. And when you're looking at those fucking influencers, ask yourself exactly the same thing, because half of them don't like running. They're just trying to make money out of it.
Golden nuggets are flying in the first 5 minutes. I love it. I love it.
I'll come back to you with an answer.
Steve never ran again.
Oh man, I'll go for a run without a watch. It'll feel like I'm like naked.
Oh my god, it feels so nice to go for a run without a watch. Honestly, it's joyful.
We've been chatting recently about people who pause their watch because they're maybe going to run 5 miles, 10 miles, but they pause their watch when they stop, rather than you press your watch at the start and when you're finished you stop. You press your watch. But people stopping their watch to go for a pee or whatever. Right. So we've got Strava police on the go. We've got some of the listeners are coming in. They're checking that elapsed time against the actual moving time as well.
Oh yeah.
We've opened up a few case files.
Yeah.
Oh, me and Kirsty have done that with our podcast. We've got an investigation arm called Bailey and Reed Investigate. We're happy to join. We're happy to join forces.
Brilliant.
We can be the Scottish.
We could do a cover. We could do a cover of Radiohead's Karma Police, but call it Strava Police.
There you go. Stephen will be copywriting that as we speak.
It would be brilliant.
Just setting up the Instagram account.
Yeah, Strava Police. Arrest this man. He pauses his watch. Oh, it'd be so good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's already an account. So I think somebody's already got the copyright.
Well, that's one of the games I like. One of the fun games I like to play when I'm very bored and just feel like being horrible to myself is influencer reality slaps. So influencers Instagram versus Strava. What they say they're doing and what Strava says they're doing. Two very different things. And one of the most interesting things is cadence data, because some people seem to have legs as long as a fucking giraffe, and other people's legs are like tiny mouse's legs. Like, honestly, why are you lying? It's so fucking ridiculous. You're lying. I'd say the only person you're lying to is yourself, but you're not, because you're lying to the 46,000 people that fucking follow you. It's just bullshit. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Use your
bullshit.
10% off.
You're
code.
lying. You're lying to the world, but the world knows it. You know,
The world
so
doesn't know it. The world doesn't know it, because the thing is, we're in it and we're on it because we
Mhm.
see this stuff. But when I talk to people who come to workshops, or when I talk to people who, um, you know, come to the National Running Show, or who are like 5K, 10K, half marathon, who don't care as much as we do, and who aren't in it as much as we do, they believe these people are what they're saying is true, and it isn't true.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Okay.
that drives me absolutely nuts, because one of my fucking values is honesty. And another one of them is integrity. And I'm like, I know they're my values, but this is our sport. And I meet so many athletes, have so many athletes come to me and say, I want to do this because I've seen so and so doing it on Instagram. And so it looks like I reckon I could do it. And I'm like, there's so much more to it than parading around with your fucking top off doing interval sessions. Like, so much more to it. It kind of,
You've
it's
been on my
just
Instagram.
heroic effort wank, isn't it? It's not what the sport is about. The sport is about community. The sport is about care. It's about the process. It's about what you learn about yourself. Like, oh, it drives me mad.
We have it's become an annual episode called Running Rants.
Mm-hmm. This is it. This is the
Well,
episode.
this could be the prelude for this year's, but I think a invite back for Ali is definitely on the cards just for that
Yeah,
recording.
definitely.
You'd
Definitely.
have a ball.
You would.
Thanks.
Can I going to digress away from the question set that we sent, because we've got lots to speak about as well. My personal opinion, Ali, is that, well, you came on my radar 4 or 5 years ago, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we had you on as a guest a few years ago. But the last few years, I've seen you, I follow you on Instagram. You post sometimes about the work or the workouts that you're doing, and you're grafting really hard, physically working hard.
Mm-hmm.
The last few years for you, running wise, in my opinion, has been a bit of a purple patch.
Ooh,
Would you
thanks.
would you agree?
Yeah,
So
I think
so
so.
so you're getting the dividend for the hard graft. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just trying to back up what we've just been talking about. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're coaching, you'll be passing that on. Who coaches you?
Holly Stables.
Do you want to
Lovely
say a bit?
Holly.
Want to say a bit about Holly?
She's an absolute bastard. No, she's not. She's lovely. I love her. Holly started coaching me probably 2, 3 years ago. I was because I was very average. Well, I am very average. I'm still a very average runner, but I work really hard. So there is being elite, which is great, and like having that background of sport and like being. I'm pretty sure my elite friends, most of them are outliers. They've got something about them that is just not the same as other people. And there was a guy doing lab tests on them, so we know that a lot of them are outliers. Need less water, for example. Um, but if you look at someone like Sarah Perry, like she's a good friend of mine, and her ability to what's the word, recover is incredible. Like her recovery is incredible. She's like a little Mel Sykes, right? That woman is absolutely amazing. She didn't start running like ultras. She was a cyclist, and then she started doing ultras not that long ago, and then obviously her brain fell out, and then she's come in top three in like big races, right? um if you look at Robin and Lucy and those sort of people, they've got a really sporty background. And I haven't. I've got an alcoholic background, and I didn't start till I was 27, and also I'm not very good. Holly wanted to get her hands on me for a long time because I was just coasting along, getting the same results. So Holly and me started together 3 years ago, and then um, and then I really like Holly because she comes with Pete, her husband, and he does my strength. So he programs my strength and she programs my running. And I absolutely love my strength. And that's what's changed my running. Holly's sessions, her speed sessions, and Pete's strength. And with those two things working together, and I work really hard, I always do my training. I work really hard. I hardly ever miss a session. And if I do miss a session, there's a fucking good reason for it. Um, and but the funny thing is, Holly actually made me run less. I was running too much. I was like doing lots and lots of running, but most of it was junk miles, and I was exhausting myself. And now I have someone that is a lot was quite strict. She does make me do really horrible sessions, and she gives me really good advice. So I was supposed to do the Northern Traverse in a few weeks. I signed up for the Northern Traverse, but I did the Winter Spine and Dragon's Back. So Dragon's Back September, Winter Spine Jan, for Winter Spine. And I signed up for the Northern Traverse before I knew I was in the Winter Spine. And I always said, I'll back off if I feel tired. And I don't want to back off. I want to do everything. I want to have a go at everything. But being under Holly's tutelage just made me go, no, don't do that race. There's no point in doing it. Like, I'm tired. I go out and do a 20-mile run and I'm like, I've had enough now. And to do a 200-mile race, you've got to really want to do it. And that race will always be there. So I know it's better for my body and better for my longevity as a good runner to pull back, which I think for me is quite a brave decision to make. Because back in the day, I would have been like, well, I said I'm going to do it and people know I'm going to do it, so I should do it. But what's the point? Like, so I'm learning about how to be a better runner. And I think because I'm enjoying it so much, because I'm enjoying the process so much, the outcomes are getting better. I'm not going into stuff to win it or going into stuff to podium or going into stuff to come in the top 10 or whatever. But that's what's happening as a result of working hard and really enjoying the process. And that's why I wrote this book. I'm like, if you've got this quote I keep saying to everybody, if you've got one eye on the result, one eye on the goal, you've only got one eye on the path. And I want to have two eyes on the path and two eyes on the process. And how do I feel? And am I enjoying it? Because at the end of the day, it's my hobby and it's everyone listening's hobby as well. It's not a job. And that's led to better outcomes. So, and I think the proof's in the pudding, really, isn't it? Like, you do the work, you'll get the outcome.
And that's what I'm saying. The last few years have been, in my opinion, have been like a purple patch. Maybe that's coincided with working with Holly. I thought about this when I was doing some stretching, and I thought, I wonder if Allie Bailey stretches. I know you see you doing
no.
I know I see you doing the strength workouts, and I see you doing lots of recce's. But do you do mobility? Do you do Pilates? Do you do yoga?
I stretch for the remote control. I stretch to stroke the dog. But my sister's a yoga teacher, part-time yoga teacher. Fucking hell. It's like namaste my arse. I can't be bothered. Ooh, I did it again. I just knocked my phone over again. I can't be bothered with it. And I find it, so, but I do things. I go to the sauna a lot. So I go to the sauna a lot, 5 times a week. And I get in the cold plunge 5 times a week. Or I swim in the cold once a week. What else do I do? Walk the dog. But I don't do stretching. Should I do stretching?
Ask your sister.
I can't be bothered.
It's tough. Yeah, but you've got to I'm trying to make it a habit. I'm trying to do this 30, it's a 30-day thing. I know there's 31 days in March, but I'm trying to do it every single day in March. So far, it's the 5th. I've succeeded.
How many stretches do you have to do? How long does it take?
Oh, there's varying length. The one I did today was 30 minutes.
Oh, man.
But some of them are 7 minutes, some are 10, so I can do that.
Here's a question.
Huh?
Run 20 miles or stretch for 30 minutes. What would you do?
Run 20 miles.
Yeah.
Run 20 miles.
If I was forced to choose, I would run 20 miles. Definitely. I'd like to do both.
I do like isometric stuff, like holds, like wall sits and starfish planks and things like that. Does that count?
100% it does. 100%.
Oh, okay, there you go. I do that when I'm doing my stretch. I do the isometric work.
Stephen, 20 miles or stretch for 30 minutes?
40 miles.
Ooh.
No, I'm just jesting, but I feel like that in my head. So I'm like, sitting on the couch and you're going, I could, stretch for 20 minutes, or I could just sit and doom scroll for 20 minutes.
Or you can sit in the sauna, and then that's basically just stretching for you, isn't it? Because it's making you all hot. That's science. It's science backed.
Okay. Can we
jump in my sauna?
Can we speak a wee bit about Dragon's Back? Because
sure,
an outsider looking in from the outside, that looked like a tough gig.
It was horrific. It was horrendous. I hated it. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Aria. I hated it because I went into it mentally not very well at all. I went into it in a right old state. And there was a point where I was like, I don't think I should be doing this. But then I was like, actually, probably the best place for me is on the hill, just to sort myself out. And it was the second go at it because I I tried 3 years ago and I got timed out on day 2. And it was like I was so depressed that I was numb to everything. So I was just pushing through, and I didn't really enjoy it. In fact, didn't really enjoy it as an understatement. I hated it because I felt so shit. And it's a really tough race anyway. The weather was awful. It was so wet. And I'm not good at being told what to do. And the thing with those races is you have to abide by the rules. You know, you have to finish at a certain time. You've got a certain time to eat your dinner. You have to wash your cup up at this sink. You can't wash your cup up at the teeth cleaning sink or the water drinking sink. You have to do it at this sink. And that, to me, I'm just like, oh, do you know what? Go fuck yourself. Because I hate people telling me what to do. I know it sounds pathetic or ridiculous, but you have to be in this tent with this person. You have to get up at this time. You have to have your kit check at this time. You have to have this in your bag. You have to leave at this time. I'm like, fucking hell, it's like being in prison. I didn't sleep. I probably slept two or 3 hours a night. I was really sad. I wasn't enjoying myself. And the weather on days 1, 2, and 3 nearly killed me. But I did it. And I think it was the fact I felt so shit that pushed me through, to be honest, because there's that, like, I'm not going to be beaten thing. And I trained really hard for it. The other thing was I felt like I was saying to my mental health, you're not going to fuck this up for me. I know you're here and you're with me the whole fucking time, but I don't want you to fuck this up for me. I've got one opportunity. It's so expensive, that race. I didn't want to have to pay for it again because I do pay for my races. And so I was like, I think I was a bit like, I'm not going to let this win. And it was like a fucking battle with myself. There were bits of it that were great. I met some really nice people. I had some good laughs with people that were just as miserable as me. But ultimately, yeah, that was fucking hard. And do you know what? Today, I was like sitting in the sauna, as is my way, stretching, and I was I was starting to think, do you know what? I might do that race again. Then I was like, what are you doing? Because I was like, I think I'd really enjoy it if I did it again. And part of me is like, you need to go back and do it again to like really try and enjoy it. So maybe I will. Maybe I will. And maybe I'll go back and be like, oh, I loved it. It was amazing. It might just be the frame of mind that I was in, but it was one of the hardest things I've ever done.
We've spoken to a couple of people. Alistair Meldrum, Stephen, The Dragon's Back.
You remembered, John?
He spoke about it being quite traumatic. I think the actual
So
day 1 and
traumatic.
2, I think the actual cliffs and stuff. And we also spoke with Gilly Marshall, who she's been there twice, but the last time what did they call it when you do, is it a hedgeling or something? What did they call the word?
Hatchling.
Hatchling. Thank you very much.
Little hedgehog.
Yeah, well, so Gilly was a hatchling, but also the 2 experiences that she's had on the Dragon's Back. There's been different things have happened. It's one of these races, and she was on it last year as well when you were there. What kept? Sorry, I think you maybe alluded to this when you were saying there, your mental health's not going to stop you doing this. But what kept you going? And it was tough.
I know. I honestly don't know. I cannot tell you how dog shit I felt. I felt horrendous. And it was like it started to physically manifest itself in like me being sick, like getting really bad diarrhea. Like when I get really depressed, I get physically sick, which is weird because I never ever get ill in day-to-day life. I'm really resilient when it comes to that sort of thing. I don't know. It was like I was in a daze. When I was drinking, I would go into this, well, for 20 odd years, I was in this like daze of like, just keep going. Like, just keep going. And then every now and again, it would get too much. I'd be like, I'm going to kill myself. And then I would try and kill myself, or somebody would find out, I'd say something to someone and they would like shake it out of me. And then I'd be okay again for a little bit. But it was just like this like weird push to keep going. And I just think, like, the weird thing about being sober, right? And I've been sober for nearly 5 years. I've got the date on my hand. I have to look at it because I can't remember. Is that when you become sober, you have to learn to be an adult, because I started drinking when I was 14. I'm 44 now, and I drank till I was 40, right? So I never actually had like I never actually experienced being a teenager or a young adult or an adult. I just was drinking the whole time. So now I'm like 4 years sober, and you're learning how to be a grown up, and you're learning how to live with those emotions that you drown, because the drink wasn't the problem, it was the solution. And now I have to experience those emotions and process them without being able to shut them down. And I think on Dragon's Back, I was like, I can't deal with these emotions. I'm gonna have to just keep running, and just focus on the running, and then I'll deal with them when I finish the race. And then when I finished the race, I just fell into this horrendous despair, like 2 weeks of being very depressed. My sister had to look after me, and it was the worst I've been since I stopped drinking. But I got through that, and I do think there was part of me that was like, just the best place you can be is on the hill, because then you're not with yourself. Then
Mhm.
you're with yourself, but you're with other people, and it's almost like Dragon's Back is almost like some sort of zombie apocalypse where you have to get through, and if you don't get to the end in time, you're going to be eaten. Like, so it's just like you're all dragging your carcasses across South Wales the last 2 days, like desperately trying to get to like the end before you get eaten. And it's just fucking hard. But I can't really explain it any more than that. It was really strange. But what was interesting was I'm not going to finish it and be like, oh my God, my life's changed. It was amazing. I'm going to tell the fucking truth. So I did tell the
Mm.
truth. And so many people came to me, people who have publicly said that, oh, it was the greatest thing I've ever done, and said, I fucking hated that race. I hated it. It was so hard. It felt like it traumatized me, upset me, because it is really fucking hard, and it is an elite mountain race sold as anyone can do this. And let me tell you something, lads, anyone can't do that. Like, it takes real drive to get that done. A lot of training, a lot of physicality, and a lot of endurance, and a lot of mental stability. And although I was mentally ill when I was doing it, the only reason I think I could get through it was because I've been through worse situations, and I just went in survival mode to try and get through it. Like, it was really fucking hard.
But you completed it. You got it done.
Yeah. And now
I,
I'm
rem-
like, oh, hey, a minute, maybe I'll go back and do it again.
I remember watching the live feed of the finish when you
Hmm.
crossed, and it looked like part relief. Thank God that's done. Are you?
Yeah.
And then you speak about the 2 weeks afterwards. Are you able to speak about that? How you, or is that? Can you remember
Yeah.
how you felt?
Yeah, it was awful. I came back. I'm at my sister's now. She lives in Wales. I came back, and my friend Kirsty brought the dog down from, like, she was looking after the dog. No, Julius was looking after the dog. She brought the dog down she drove from the lakes to Wales to bring me my dog. And I just fucking fell to pieces. And I recorded a podcast the 2 days after with Josie Perry, the Be Braver podcast. Listen to that if you want to hear what state I was in. I could not stop crying. Um, and then I and then I just shut down. And I'd taken 2 weeks off work. I'd taken a week off work anyway because I was like, you'll be tired. But I was a mess, and I was unable to really do anything. I couldn't. My sister didn't really want me going out on my own. I'd go for like walks with the dog. I felt like killing myself. It was, and I said to my sister, I feel like killing myself. And she's really good with me when I'm like that, and she knows what to do. She just, generally when people say that, they just want to be heard, and if they're saying it, that's a great thing, because they're telling you, and so you can hear them and just give them a cuddle, and that's all you can really do when someone says something like that. And I often think I can solve that problem by myself, because I have spent years and years solving it on my own. But you do need help, and I got myself a new therapist, and I started to look after myself and eat properly. And I wrote everything down, and I wrote a massive blog about it, because I find writing really helps. So there's a blog about it on my website, and that was quite cathartic to write it all down, because it's mad, isn't it, how we do these things? And running is supposed to save you. It's supposed to make you really. It's supposed to be like, oh God, I've got this great sense of achievement, loads of confidence, and then it takes it out of you like that, and like pushes you down to the floor. But honestly, I do think that's where resilience is created, isn't it? Like, so it pushes you down to the floor, it tries to drown you, like hold you under the water, and you're like, I won't allow this to happen. And I'm so grateful to myself that I've said I won't allow this to happen, and I've popped back up again instead of just drowning.
Mm.
um and every time it happens, it's awful, but every time that happens, I get a little bit better at dealing with it. The hardest thing is dealing with it as a sober person, because before I
Yeah.
would drink through it. But now it's like, fucking hell, these feelings are shit. And can't get away from them. I can't run away from them. I've just got to sit with them and write them down and work out that we're humans and we feel shit, and you can't get rid of it. What you resist will persist. So yeah, I came out of it after about 2 weeks, and thank fuck for my sister, because if she hadn't been here, God knows what would happen, to be quite frank.
Thank you so much for sharing such a personal thing, and I'm sure people listening in will be able to relate to. Some people will be able to relate to that. Is there, though, I'm intrigued by this, Allie, is there a feeling of, when that feeling of despair or whatever it is, when you move out of that, is it a physical feeling that you feel?
What, during it or after it?
As well, it shifts. Yeah, towards the end of it, when you realise where you've been, when you look back and where you've been, is there a feeling? You're saying when you're eating, you start eating better. So that's a sort of moving, a transition back or out of that place.
I think it's a patience thing and a time thing, and you get to a point where, this sounds awful, you'll get to a point where you're either going to top yourself or you're going to come through it. The way that people will come through it, in my opinion, from my experience, is love. So my sister was so brilliant because she never panics. She's never like, I'm going to take you to the hospital. She's never like, oh my God, we need to like lock you in a room. She just listens. And my niece, I love my niece, and being around other people helps you to sort of fill yourself back up with love. Because remember, when you've done something like that, you've expended all your energy and all your hormones in it, they're gone and you're empty. And so it's really, really hard to recover. And honestly, I don't think that race companies have enough aftercare for people, especially people doing big things like that, huge things like that, like the Spine or like the Dragon's Back or like Cape Wrath or like MDS. Fucking it, can you imagine MDS with their psychological aftercare with the French? It'd be like, no, go home. That would be it, right? But it's like no one's offering any aftercare. And I've said this before, like, what if we could set up like a helpline where people could ring up and just talk about their race, and other people and people that understood racing could just listen? But we don't have the funds for that. We don't have the resource for it. Like, I'd love to start that, but unfortunately, I don't have fucking time to wipe my ass, let alone set up a fucking charity to help people. But there wasn't a time where like I was like, oh my God, I'm better. But because of the work I've done with my sobriety, I have the ability to be like, this will pass. It's not always going to get worse, and it will pass. And there is hope. I fucking love my dog, and she really helps. Like, I can't leave Pickles, um, and it was just a case of like feeding off that love until I was able to start doing the basics again: eat 3 meals a day, drink water, go for a walk, be grateful, sleep. Start work again, because I love my work. I love coaching, and that was amazing. But it took me a long time to feel proud of what I'd done. Really, really long time to feel proud of what I'd done. And I still, and all I wanted in my life was that little dragon that's sniffing its own bum. You know, the little meadow you get, the dragon sniffing its own bum. All I wanted was that. And in my head, I'd had this like image of the photo and the dragon, and where it'd sit on my shelf. And I'd had this image for like 5 years. But then you actually put the dragon on the shelf and you put the photo on the shelf, and then you're like, well, that's that. And that's the end of it. Like, nothing's changed. I'm still a miserable arsehole. And just got a little dragon sniffing its bum. Like, but what did change was, I can honestly tell you, that day on Candid, that Wednesday, was the worst running experience I've ever had, for fear of I'm going to die up here. 60-mile-an-hour winds, it's raining, I don't know if you saw any of the footage, like Lowry Morgan was like fucking holding onto a trig point for dear life, and her legs were like flying out the back, and she's trying to shout at the camera. That went on for like 5 or 6 hours, and I've never been as scared, and I've done a lot of fucking scary things, as I was that day. And every time I get into a situation where I'm like, I'm really frightened, I think of that, and that is my level of like, you did that, so you can fucking do this. And that passed, and you got down into McCuntleth, and there was no wind and no rain, and it was like a load of war veterans coming off a hill with like 1,000-yard stare, and then just the normal people of McCuntleth going about their fucking business. And we were like, you were there, man! And then everyone at the checkpoint's like, what's the problem? Sitting down there in the sun with the fucking no wind. And I think those are the parts of the process that build character, aren't they? And that's part of like, and now I'm like, there was no point on the Spine where there was nothing that could scare me now, I don't think, in running, because that was the worst thing. And I did it when I felt terrible. So that was almost like sort of manifestation of what was going on with with my mental health, like just fucking noise, can't see anyone, no one's going to help you. You've got every layer, every bit of safety you've got. I was wearing 3 coats at that time, 2 pairs of waterproof trousers. Everything was on, and you would just head down, got to get through it. And you do get through it, and you do get into the town, and you can buy 5 bottles of fuel, but you just have to fucking keep going.
Are you happy to share your sister's name?
Janie.
Janie.
Janie Wise. She's
Thank
single.
you, Janie Wise.
She's single and ready to mingle. She would like a man who is over 6'2". She'd like someone, probably someone Scottish actually. They have to own their own house. Kids have to be over the age of 18. She'll be looking probably the sort of 45 youngest, 60 to 65 max. If you own a Land Rover Defender, you will go to the front of the queue. So please do apply via the usual channels. Janie, you're welcome.
There'll be DMs. Slip into our DMs. We can be the matchmakers.
She's going to love this.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to say thanks for sharing that as well. And I'm just going to draw our attention, listeners' attention to a campaign that John's running just now, and it's called the Campaign Against Living Miserably. That's a charity that he's raising money and awareness of just now, and it's about some of the issues that you've just spoken about there. So it seemed an apt time to mention it.
And well, thank you for that, Stephen. And it's also a nice wee segue into talking about the spine. Because my main event,
because that is living miserably.
No. My main event that I'm doing this year to raise awareness and funds for the campaign against living miserably is the Summer Spine Challenger South, which I know you have experience of.
How exciting!
Yeah. So that was I've listened to your podcast with James Elson. I've listened to it wasn't a chat. You'd recorded a long voice note, which was brilliant. But you spoke about your experience, and your first experience of putting a foot on the spine, the Pennine Way, was the South, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It was. Yes. Good choice. It's a gateway drug, John.
Yeah, that's what I'm a wee bit fearful of. And then, because then what happened? You then went and won the Body North Challenger. Yeah. You went and did that, and then you went back in the winter this year and completed the whole thing. And we spoke with Sarah Perry recently.
Oh, I love her.
And then our most recent episode prior to this, we spoke with Enos Proctor and Ross Beveridge, who both completed the winter spine as well.
Yeah.
And it sounded horrendous, if I'm honest, the actual conditions. So the spine, the Pennine Way, tell us about your journey. Start wherever you wish.
I basically was like, I'm never, ever, ever going to do that because that looks fucking stupid. So what I did was to mark myself safe, I joined the safety team. I was like, I'll go and join the safety team because then I can give something back to, you know me, I'm all heart, more like be nosy, but be nosy as to what they're doing. So I joined the safety team, and the safety team are the people that basically work to look after everybody on the course. And so I joined them because I thought if I'm on the safety team, then that would definitely put me off doing it, right? And I really loved that experience, and I'd encourage anyone to do it. It's brilliant. And it's just really heartwarming and wonderful to see people going on their journeys, isn't it? It's amazing. It's amazing to be part of it without having to do it. However, I did that's when the spine worm started. Like I was asleep one night and the spine worm crawled into my ear and then it was in my brain and then I was affected, right, by the fucking spine. And I was like, do you know what I'll do? I will do a short spine race. I will do it in summer because I love summer running. So I do the Spine Challenger South. That's easy. It's 100 miles, right? I mean, I love 100-mile races. That's easy. Spoiler alert, it's not 100 miles. It's 108 miles, which actually feels like 150 miles because it's savage. And I have never, I'd always been crewed, and you can't be crewed, and there's 100k without an aid station, etc., etc., etc. There's Fountains Fell, there's the fucking Cam High Road. Oh, also, it pissed it down with rain and was freezing cold because that's what happens on the Pennine Way. Even if the rest of the country is bathing in sunlight, you will end up. I think I started in a vest and shorts, and I finished in 3 layers of waterproofs, so that was good. However, it was too late by the time I'd finished that race because then I was like, I love this. Like, I love being on my own. I love trying to it's just you versus nature. I love the lack of help. I love the fact that I spent a long time by myself. So I thought, look, I'm definitely not doing winter because that would be fucking mental. I'm still on that. That'll be fucking mental train. I'll do the Summer Challenger North. And then I've done all of it, right? So off I trotted to do the Summer Challenger North. Yeah, I just had a really good race. And I'm not trying to like sandbag or anything like that. But what I'm saying is it's not very competitive. It's not as competitive as the winter. So, there were some amazing women running. And I was very, very lucky to like, there was a lot of luck involved in that win. And, but there was also a lot of hard work. Like I worked really hard. I trained really hard. I recce'd. I did all the things that I should do. Did all my strengths, did everything, and the outcome I got was really, really good. But the outcome was a result of the hard work rather than me trying to get that outcome. I was as surprised as fucking anybody at the end of that race, believe me. But then I was like, oh fuck, I'm actually 44 and I'm not getting any younger and I'm probably as fit as I'm ever going to be. So if I was going to give it a go, then I should give it a go as soon as possible. And then, do you know what? I don't know what happened, but I was accidentally signed up for the spine for the winter. It doesn't help that my partner is Damien Hall. So he is constant fucking, like, he's just an enabler. And he likes living vicariously through other people when he's not doing the races himself. So that didn't help. And that was it, really. Like, that was the end of it.
Damien's not exactly the sort of person that's going to go, maybe that's a bad idea. He's like, yeah, do it.
I know. We're very different. He's a dream weaver and I'm a dream smasher. So he's very much like, his athletes come to me and they're like, I want to run around the world 5 times. And he's like, sure, we can train you for that. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. How about you start a park run? So we're very different, but he is an enabler. So yeah, and actually, to be honest with you, I have a lot to thank him for because he has obviously given me some amazing advice, and he would always have a go at me for the size of my bag, which has completely shrunk now because I do appreciate that, like, you don't have to take everything you own. Like, I felt on the Spine Challenger South, I looked like that woman out of that film Labyrinth. You know, the one that has all the chairs, the witch with all the chairs on her back, that lives in the fucking dump. I look like that. But now I've managed to slim it down a bit while still being safe because obviously it takes Damien 3 days, whereas it takes me 6. So, which is a good point that should be made because when people look at the people winning the spine and the size of their bags and then try and imitate it, do remember those people are out for half the time you are. So you need a big coat. But yeah, I absolutely loved every minute of it. I loved it. There were some shit times and there were some amazing times. And I just loved it. And I like that problem solving, being by yourself. I loved the weather. I loved the camaraderie. I loved the people I ran with and I ran along my own. I loved the crying. I loved the meltdown that I had at Langdon Beck. Then when I came down in the morning, I apologised to everybody. I felt like I was pissed. Like when I was drinking, I used to like go fucking mental and really upset everybody and then have to apologise in the morning. That's what it felt like at Langdon Beck. I loved Hannah Rickman singing to me. I loved all of it. Everything was fucking incredible.
Yeah. You did, though. What I took from the podcast, the recording with James, was, but you ran your own race all the time. You were running your own race, and I think for these multi-day events, it can be very hard for people to get sucked into what somebody else is doing over a short distance. But to do that for that amount of time, is that something that you'd worked on mindset wise?
I've always been. So the problem was I came 5th at Challenger South, came 1st at Challenger North. So there was a slight like, oh, what's she going to be doing at the winter? And I'm like, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to be fucking doing, completing it if I possibly can. That would be really nice, but it is out of my control. So there's no point in me being like, well, if I don't finish it, it's a fuck up. Because when I say to athletes, what's the result you want to create? Saying I want to come 1st, 2nd, 3rd, saying I want to finish it, saying I want to get done in 120 hours, that's out of your control. So there's no point in using that as a level of success because you can't control that. My friend Ross broke his wrist at Wessenden and was out of the race, but it wasn't a fail for him. It was still a massive experience. It was absolutely fucking brilliant. And I think people sort of need I go into stuff like that. I go into it seeing it as a massive adventure and I wonder what's possible for me today. I wonder what is possible today. And with the spine, I was always going to do all the things, like go to Greg's Hut, go into Annie's house, stop at Hornistead, go to all of the little places where they have honesty boxes, talk to the people that ran the honesty boxes, pet all the dogs, pet all the ponies. I was always going to do that. I was always going to take it easy. I was always going to sleep where I slept for the amount of time I slept. And I was always going to eat as much as was humanly possible at every checkpoint. And the only time I started to get competitive was when I thought I could break into the top 5, because I thought that some of the girls were asleep at Bellingham. And I didn't look at the tracker until I left. And I looked and they'd fucking left ages ago. And I literally was like, you fucking over-competitive tit. There's no need for that. It doesn't matter. And I quickly jumped back out of it again. Because it doesn't matter to anybody. It really, like, just the privilege of being able to fucking run on that route and the privilege of being able to finish it is amazing. That's enough. And, you know, I've looked and I've always said, you don't need to look at other people. Don't look at other people at aid stations. In the book, there's a chapter called Don't Look at Other People's Trolleys, because it's a bit like going to a supermarket with a trolley and then knowing what you need to cook. You want to fucking cook a lasagna or you want to cook a spaghetti bolognese, and then just looking at someone else's trolley and buying what they're buying. And that's not what you need. So they're doing what they're doing for their own reasons. You do what you're doing for your reasons. Be really clear what they are. And it's your adventure to do your way. And that's how I treated the whole thing. So there was never any pressure and there was never any issue. I do remember stopping at a checkpoint and some bloke saying to me, "Oh, not going too well for you then." And I was like, "Pardon?" And he was like, "Not going too well for you then if you just got in now." I was like, "It's going brilliantly." And he was like, "Wow, you're not top 3." And I was like, "I don't want to be, I'm not interested in where I am." And he was like, "Well, if you won the summit, you should have been in top 3." I'm like, what fucking, like, business is it of yours where I am? It was absolutely mad. And I'm like, if you've got the time to think about my race more than I'm thinking about my race, good for you. But honestly, it was fucking insane. I'm just not really interested in that. I'm more interested in the joy I get out of things. And I got so much joy out of that. It was just a delight. So much so that the minute the entries opened this year, I signed up again. Straight away, straight in like Flynn.
It's like Flynn.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Errol.
If you're doing a spine race, then if you're basically, John, you might as well start buying the winter kit now.
that thought has crossed my mind. Yeah.
It's crossed your mind.
We spoke with Ross and Henos, and one of the questions we asked them was how many times do you think about the spine a day? And it's becoming all-consuming already, you know. So yeah. So I'm just keeping myself calm at present.
Just keep
you don't need to think about the spine. You need just to think about what you're doing this week.
Yeah.
Stretching.
You mentioned book. Because Stephen.
Have we got book? She's mentioned a lot of things.
Yeah, book. We've got to come back to Snowden as well. Allie mentioned Snowden at the start.
Stephen wants to slag off influencers. I can see it. Right. I'm not naming any names. Because I have to get told off for bullying, even though it's not bullying, it's telling the truth. But
I was more thinking about elapsed time detective case files, but that's another thing entirely. Your book, 31 Days.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And, well, it kind of built... We spoke to you last time about There Is No Wall. 31 Days is Allie's new book, available now at Vertebrate Publishing.
Yeah, adventurebooks.com.
Okay.
Or.co.uk. Adventurebooks.co. They're great Vertebrate. Buy it from the publisher, don't buy it off Amazon, because Amazon are evils. They're evil.
Yeah, that's like booking a hotel through hotels.com, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I've got a lot of loyalty points with hotels.com.
How did you book a hotel in the 80s?
The same way that you timed your runs. Anyway, 31 Days. Tell us all about it. What motivated you to turn that into a structured program? And I know you've been doing lots of talks and workshops and things like that.
Well, mainly money motivated me to do it.
Let's be honest, I love it.
Let's be honest, mainly money and the threat from my publisher that I needed to write another book quite quickly. So there was a choice. I either relapsed and wrote another book about sobriety, or I wrote something else. So I was like, oh shit, I don't know what to write about. And then when I did a speaking tour last year, and I did and on that speaking tour, I like sliced the thing in half, the talks in half. So the first bit was like, oh look, poor me, oh everybody start crying and go feel awkward at the bar at the interval. Oh look at what you're doing. And then the second half was like, this is how I sorted my shit out when I started to get sober. And it was like 5 or 6 lessons that I've learned and how to put those into your life, right? So some might call it a lecture. I called it a motivational talk. So basically, and then the last chapter of the book, There Is No Wall, there's like an open letter that people found really helpful, that had some tips about how to start when, if you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm drinking too much, or maybe this behavior isn't serving me very well. So people found that really helpful. So I was like, let's write a book about the mindset stuff that gets brought to me as a running coach. So I'm a running coach, but I specialize in long distance. And I specialize in people that lack confidence, or have lots of DNFs, or don't believe in themselves, or a bit older, started a bit later, have various problems maybe with addiction or with neurodiversity, whatever it is. And they come to me with all these issues, things like fear of failure, imposter syndrome, lack of confidence, lack of self-belief, lack of self-worth, lack of self-identity. Comparison is a big one. Limiting belief. I can't do that. I'm scared of heights. I can't run downhill. I don't look like a runner. All this stuff, right? It gets brought to me as a coach, and I'm like, right, now I need to help you to remodel those messages within your brain. So not so you don't think about that stuff, because you'll always think it, but so that it does, so your response to it is better. So you know that your brain is going to say, you don't look like a runner. That's fine. Your brain can say that. Your brain also says things like, I'm going to kill my boss, but you don't kill your boss. But instead of believing it, you can acknowledge that thought is there and be like, runners are all shapes and sizes. Like, just that thought, not I do look like a runner, but runners are all shapes and sizes. I've got evidence for that. I can show you a load of fucking pictures from parkrun, right? It's about knowing the difference between thoughts and facts. And a lot of people think their thoughts are facts. Okay, so people that say things like, I haven't got enough time. Well, you've got the same amount of time as everybody else. You're just using your time differently to everybody else, to other people, right? So, or I'm holding everybody up. That's a classic. If I go out for a group run, I'm holding everyone up. But the fact is, has anyone ever told you that you're holding the group up? No, they haven't, have they? Because you're not holding the group up. The group is a social run group who will run at the pace of the slowest person and are happy to do that. So all of this stuff is mindset stuff. It's all about how we talk to each other. So I've basically done 31 chapters that are designed to be read over 31 days, like one chapter a day. They're really short. They're 1,500 words. And there's like a focus, and then there's an example from like my running or my athletes running, and then there's some work. So you can download a workbook. There's a QR code to download your workbook. Or if you order from Vertebrate quickly, you'll get a free workbook because there are some left. And you have to do the work. And if you don't do the work, it's not going to work, because a lot of people buy self-help books and put them on their fucking nightstand and expect it to go in by osmosis, or for them to suddenly be fixed by reading a Brad Stulberg book. But that doesn't work. You have to do the work every fucking day, and you have to understand why you're doing it and keep repeatedly doing it. So if you think about something like sobriety, I have been sober for 4.5 years, but I am learning every day how to be me, or how to be an adult, or how to live in an adult world when I have got childish fucking emotions, because I've never learned how to deal with them. And that's everyday work. It's not just going to magically happen. It's taken me 20 fucking odd years to get into this state. So it's going to take me a long time to get out of this state. And it's the same with 31 days. It's like, you have to do this work. It'll give you all the tools you need. And I'm also running workshops. My next one is in Ambleside on the 20th of March. So people can come along for a day and learn how to do it in a group. And that worked really well. We did one the other week, and it was so good. Like, because I just spoke to someone that came before I was speaking to you guys, and they were like, I thought I was the only person that felt like this, but turns out everybody fucking feels like it. When you actually talk about it, you can see how ridiculous it is. But that's what I wanted to do. And I think it's really helpful. And I had some really, really good feedback. In fact, I think I've had nothing but good feedback. So I'm waiting for the first 1-star review on Amazon, because once I get that, I'll be able to fixate on it for the next 2 years.
As also though, the tagline that you've said there is about do the work. And if I'm just want to go back and talk about that purple patch I described. You're going through that purple patch because you've done the work as a runner. You know what I mean? So to make things happen, you have to put the graft in. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And the book, Whistle Stop Tour.
Did you buy that, or did someone send it to you?
Someone sent it to me.
Oh, good. I'm pleased they sent it to you.
Yeah. So it's being read again. It's 31 days. Would you recommend people do this? Are you
doing it properly, John? Are you doing it properly?
This is my question. Would you recommend people do it 31 consecutive days? I'm a bit of a reflector, so I might do it and then have a couple of days just to think about it. So is that okay to do that?
Did you read the introduction, John?
Yes.
Yes, that's absolutely fine. It's about how you want to do it. So some people, and I really don't recommend doing this, but I can't make people do things. No one can. Some people have read the whole fucking thing in one go. And they're like, I'm going to go back and do the work. I'm like, no, you're not. But if that's what you want to kid yourself into thinking, that's fine. But I don't think you are going to go back and do the work, because that's not how your brain works. Your brain now thinks it's got all the answers, and it hasn't. It winds me up. But I can't stop people doing it, right? So some people have got ripped through it, and then they're like, I'm going to go back and read it chapter by chapter and do the fucking work. Some people reflect, right? Which is brilliant. And it does say at the beginning, if you need time, do this exercise 18 times. So make sure you've got it right. Then move on to the next bit.
That's chapter 1 there. That's day 1 there.
Is that day 1?
That's day 1.
Oh, perfect.
A couple of pages. 4 pages. That's it.
Yeah, it's not very much, is it?
No.
It's not a lot. But sometimes the work is really hard because people don't know the difference between feelings, thoughts, actions, and results. And people don't, especially men, are not given the opportunity to know to name their feelings. So in the workbook, there's a feelings wheel to help you to name feelings. And if you find this work hard, and believe me, a lot of people do find it very fucking hard, I would recommend that you start to see a therapist to untangle thoughts and feelings, because we're so numbed to this stuff and we're all looking for a quick fix, but there isn't a fucking quick fix. It's a long-term project on yourself where you accept reality as it fucking is, and you'll become so much more content and happy because you won't have this weight of expectation. And the biggest thing I think that's come out of 31 days is people worrying what other people think. Like, I'm too slow. I don't look like a runner. I look stupid. People are going to think I'm shit. People are going to think I'm slow. It doesn't fucking matter what other people think. But because we live in a world where everything we do is on display on social media, we're constantly asking for other people to heart our shit. We never used to do that. And if they don't heart our shit, we get upset about it. That's external validation, and it's really fucking unhelpful. Like, we talk about intrinsic motivation and intrinsic validation, and knowing that you're worthy regardless of what you fucking do in the book, because we've lost sight of that. Because we get our hits now from likes, and that is bullshit. So if you can get through this book and if you can do the work, it will make you happier. And if you do struggle with the work, or if you want to know how to do it, then come to one of the workshops. I'm going to try and put some more on, maybe one in Bristol, maybe one a bit further. I know, but they told me to do one in Ambleside. I've sold 5 tickets because nobody wants to come to the lakes because it's too fucking far away. So I'm like, maybe Scotland. Actually, I want to go on the witch tour in Edinburgh, so maybe I could do one in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with the witches of Scotland.
Well, we can.
There's a witch bit near where we live, isn't there, John?
Where do you live? Yeah. A witch bit.
There's a witch. What do you call that thing? Mary Wells thing at Dunning. Yeah, it's like a monument to the witches.
A monument.
Yeah.
The witches that the Scottish killed.
Yes, exactly.
They killed a lot of them.
Yeah, 1652.
So
very well.
Yeah. We will put a link to your website, I think, Ali, in the show notes. Yeah. But specifically the blog that you mentioned. And we'll also put a link to where you can buy the 31 days, and we'll also but the link to your website, people will find out about workshops and things in there.
Yeah, and probably my Instagram is the best place to go because I haven't updated my freaking website for ages. So my Instagram is @AB_runs. It's not Abby, it's Ali. AB_runs. Yeah, okay. I'm so good at self-promotion.
And if John can get through his 31 days, quickly so you can pass it on.
I can't do it quickly. I can't do that. I'm not going to rush it. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that.
No.
But,
Well, you're getting through your stretching, so 31 days for this book, 30 days of stretching.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can stretch as you read it. There's an Audible version as well, so you can actually listen to it.
There's an Audible version.
Narrated by yourself?
By me. And I've recorded it the day before the Winter Spine. I did it in one day because I was under quite a lot of pressure.
Wow.
So it's quite fast.
With no swearies.
It's got loads of swearies. You might have to listen to it at -1.5 because it is quite fast. Because I was like, I really have to get to the start of the spine now.
Fantastic.
Right, listen. Oh, sorry, Stephen. Go.
Oh well, the other thing that we've spoken about the book. Sorry, the spine, the dragon's back. But you mentioned Damien, and I know that you've been on a trip recently.
He took me on a really romantic holiday for Valentine's Day.
Yes, that was the trip that we.
He took me to America, and he left me with a weird old man, and a guy called Keith Dunn, and he left me there for 2.5 days, and I had to stay awake and make him hot chocolate porridge. It was really romantic.
Hot chocolate porridge?
Yeah, he wanted chocolate porridge. So I made him this porridge. This is incredible, actually. It was porridge with oat milk and a bit of vegan chocolate in, and then I got hold of some mint Oreos. So I smashed some of those into it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Did he take you to Sonic?
Did he what? Take me to Sonic?
Yeah, the drive.
He didn't take me to Sonic, but Miller did. David Miller took me to Sonic. I went to Sonic with David Miller, Emma Stewart, and her boyfriend James. Yeah, it was pretty epic.
Miller.
Yeah, fucking Miller.
Sorry,
I spent a lot of time with Miller.
You have to give context to Sonic. I don't know what Sonic is.
You do. John Kelly spoke about Sonic.
John Kelly loves. I went to the Kelly family farm for dinner, and I met his mum and dad.
Did you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was fucking brilliant. You know what you think they're like?
You've been to Disneyland.
Yeah, you know what you think they're like. That's what they're like.
Is it?
They're proper Southern, like really kind, really sweet. They made us loads of nice food. And then I mentioned to John's wife that I really like the cinnamon buns at the coffee shop. So she made me some homemade cinnamon buns and brought them to the campsite the next day.
This is all centred around Damien taking part in the Barclay Marathon for anybody who's maybe no.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Quite up.
But the main thing
Did
you guess?
The main thing was that Allie got a romantic trip to Frozen Head State Park.
Oh yeah, it was brilliant, and I got to stay in a tent in the wet, the cold and the wet, and I got to stay up all night for 2 nights, wondering where he was and not knowing and worrying. And then I got to see him twice for 5 minutes, and he grunted at me a bit, and then off he went with his shoes off, and then everybody started saying he's gone mad and he's doing a loop with his shoes off, and I just thought, you know what, fill your boots, everyone. I'm not going to tell you why he's done that. Just like everybody was saying, is Killian there? And I was like, yeah, Killian's here. I was like, Killian's here, and he's not doing very well though. In fact, he's not come back off the first loop yet, and he's like the last person out. It's quite embarrassing. They're like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, of course he's not fucking here, you prick.
What was?
I heard Courtney DeWalter's there. Jasmine's there. I know she is. Jasmine's definitely there, isn't she? I'm like, yeah, she's definitely here. Jasmine's actually doing it on her hands this year. No, but the rumours were mad and hilarious.
What a privilege though to get to be there at that time and to meet Laz and Keith and these people, because for most people they'll never meet them, and they're just these sort of mythical figures that hang around. So your experience must have been amazing. Well, from what you're saying, it was.
Oh, it was so fun, and it's funny because it's not very sexy. It's not very sexy at all. It's just an old man and his mate, who's like his son, Carl, and then these 2 guys with the trumpets, and then this guy called Keith Dunn. And that's it. And then a tent, and they actually moved it this year because they had forestry work going on by the Yellow Gate. So they moved it over to it had like this shelter, and in there they were making barbecue chicken. There was a great big like fire in the middle, and all the crews sort of sat in there, and we could make tea and coffee and cook in there and stuff. And so it was really lovely and communal, and all the number plates were up, and it was just really like being in a family. And the best thing is, right, it's so much secrecy around it. But everybody, apart from the fucking Belgians who kept leaking photos, everybody respects that secrecy. And it's not like lads, it's like, put your phones away, don't take photos. I got loads of photos, loads of video, but obviously I didn't post anything. And I told my athletes I was away on holiday. Like, I didn't tell anyone where I was. I stopped my Strava from showing where I was. And everybody is trusted to behave like an adult. And everybody goes there and everybody wants to protect it for what it is. And we don't want it, and nobody wants it to like get out. And I just felt it was a massive privilege, and I'm really, really grateful that Damien trusted me to crew him. And I'd met lads before a few times because I'd interviewed him at the running show and stuff. But I think it was meeting Keith that was the thing, because me and Keith got on really well, like a house on fire, and spent a lot of time together. And he, the stuff I like about Keith is amazing. Like, he's a big fan of the musicals, and he comes to London and he'll come to London for a week and go to like 8 musicals in a row. So we had quite a lot of chat about Starlight Express, which is both of our favourites musical. We both love Starlight Express. And then, going to the Kelly family farm and hanging out with, I ended up babysitting John's kids for 2 hours in the fucking park, which is like, he's got 4 of them. And I was like, how the fuck has this happened? I hate children. But actually, they were quite sweet. I just they're fearless, like, because they're like John's kids. So I just get thinking, one's going to break their neck and it's going to be my fault. But they're kind of feral, so it was all right. But it was an amazing experience. And I went on the prison tour on the day before to see the book play. So I went and did a tour of the prison, which was the old prison, which was incredible. And we went to Sonic, which is a drive-through restaurant, John, which does great tots and apparently amazing milkshakes. But I don't know, like, I'm not a big milkshake fan, but the burgers were good. The burgers were great. And it was great. And but it's unlike anything I've ever experienced. And do you know what? I went, I stayed there, I chatted to lads, I chatted to all the lads, I had a great time. I still know nothing about the course. I know what Ratjaw looks like. I know what Chimney Top looks like because I've run up it. But I don't know what any of the rest of the course looks like still. And I don't know how 3 of the top runners in the world only managed to do 3 loops. I don't know how Matthew Blanchard managed to come back. Like, why he was fucked with a capital F. Like, that man is one of the greatest runners in the world. And he was fucked and he was frightened. He was practically in tears. He was so scared because he thought he was going to die of hypothermia. Like, Sebastian Rochon is just fucked. I know he's just won the spine, but seeing these athletes like Aurelius Sanchez coming back and be like, nope, not doing it. Like, it's just John can't do more than 2 loops. John lives there. He grew up there. John knows that park better than anyone else. So you still can't. Emma Stewart, 17 hours for a loop. Emma Stewart's one of the greatest female ultra runners that Ireland's ever produced. One of the greatest in the world. I still don't understand how hard it is. All I know is that Damien came back absolutely fucked, covered in scratches, bleeding all over. Like, he slashed his wrists with a massive bruise on his ass. And then he basically became a man baby for about 4 days afterwards. And he was more fucked than I've ever seen him. And I've looked after him after the Tour de Gion. He really was in a mess. So it is hard. It is brutal. And I don't think anyone can understand that except people that have taken part in it.
Yeah. It's exciting, though.
My favourite bit was when Laz said to me, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, he's like, so do you think you're the next Jasmine out of nowhere? And I was like, what? No. No. I said, there's one Jasmine. There will never be another Jasmine. She's an outlier. I'm sure there'll be other women that finish the Barclay, but I'm not going to be fucking one of them. No way. No way. Did say that about the spine, though, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Listen, I'm aware we've got about just under 10 minutes left. Okay, so let's.
We haven't even flagged off UCS yet.
Let's do that. Well, let's do that for 3 minutes. Let's do that. You mentioned Snowdon way back at the start of this conversation, and we're breaking news this week is that there has been a bit of, it can't be described as anything less in my vocabulary, as a bit of a fuck up with. They've changed. They took on more runners. They sold more places, and then the next day they changed the route. They've shortchanged people's money. Thoughts on UTMB, UTS, Allie Bailey?
UTMB are a bunch of greedy fucks. There's nothing about them apart from greed. Absolutely nothing. If you look at what they did at the Arc of Attrition, now they might as well do a 5K fucking run. They're adding more and more distances not because they want people to entry level into the sport. That's not why they're doing it. They're doing it to make fucking money, and they're ruining the environments in which they're running, even though their whole tagline is respect the mountains, leave no trace. They definitely didn't leave no trace on the Southwest Coast Path. They caused about £6 million worth of fucking damage on the Southwest Coast Path. And who's going to sort that out? Not them. All they care about is numbers, right? So what they did was they said, oh, guys, there's loads more space. There's loads more spaces in the 100K and I think another one of the distances. Sold the spaces. And this is a race that has allegedly 6,000 metres of vert. It's an iconic route. It's never changed. And then the next day said, we've got some exciting news for you. We've changed the route to the point where they've taken 2,000 metres of vert off of it. And it was a completely different fucking route. And everybody went mental. And they haven't actually said anything yet, have they?
No,
they're avoiding all comments. The only comments that they're replying to on socials are the positive comments. So people saying, I can't wait to do the 20 mile, I can't wait to do. They'll reply to those, but they're not replying to people saying, I want my money back. And I think finally people have seen through the fucking bullshit that is UCMB and seen them, sorry, I'm going to use a C word, for the money grabbing cunts that they are, because that's all they care about. We've got your money now, you can fuck off. They don't care about the mountains. They don't care about the environment. They don't care about the runners. They're not trying to make the sport a better place to be. They're not trying to get people in at an entry level. They're just trying to make fucking money. And it's bollocks. And the only way to stop this is to boycott their fucking events. And that ends my TED talk.
It's true. How did they get so many people going in for it? It's that marketing trick, isn't it? Like, they've no shortage of people signing up for the races.
Yeah, because people want stones because they want to go to UTMB.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and because they've got massive marketing budgets, they can get into everyone's algorithm. The minute you put ultra running in, you'll get advertised by them.
Mm-hmm.
It's shit. Well, there's so many other better events, so many other better race companies.
I'm in the boycott, man. I'm in the boycott.
I've been in the boycott for a long fucking time, and I will always be in the boycott.
Is that 180 seconds?
That's it. That's it. So we're now got less than 6 minutes to go. You mentioned Winter Spine 2027. What's next for Allie Bailey?
Nothing.
How does that feel?
Great. I cancelled my Northern Traverse entry because I'm just tired, and I just thought, what the fuck are you doing? You're going to end up in a hole. And I'm trying to buy a house in South Wales. I'm looking to buy a house in South Wales. And so at the moment, I'm like, let's just get back to enjoying running. So I get this strength, but it's taken a long time to recover from the spine because it was compacted fatigue from Dragon's Back as well. So I think I'm probably recovered now. And so I just was like, I'm not feeling it. And there's no point in doing a 200-mile race if you're not feeling it, because you'll fucking hate every minute. So I've deferred it. I'll be in the same position next year because I would have done the spine. But I might look for a nice 100 to do, like a nice cozy 100. There is talk of some summer spine action, maybe. But I'm just trying to enjoy myself with the dog at the moment.
Yeah, why not? It's exactly what you need to be doing right now.
Yeah.
Allie and Pickle having a good old time.
Exactly.
Dialect dictionary, Stevie boy.
Yes. Dialect dictionary is open.
I know what dialect dictionary is. I gave you a good one last time,
You
right?
did.
From
You did.
Dorset.
You did.
Do you remember what it was?
Oh, John. John does, because he was speaking about it earlier.
I don't remember what it was.
I don't. I have no idea.
I liked your one earlier, in like fun. That was a common one that I used.
Which one?
In like fun, you went. I was in like fun, just when you're
in like fun.
Yeah,
like a fat kid on a smartie. I like that one. I've got you one from Pickles World, Pickles language. This is Pickles. Commumbrance.
Commumbrance.
It's a pickleism. Yeah. As in, what a commumbrance. Yeah.
Like a sushi.
So you're in a pickle.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, what a commumbrance. It's like, oh, we're in a bit of a mess here, isn't it? But it's a pickleism.
I like it.
She says it a lot. The other thing she says a lot is when in Rome. I don't think she knows what it means, but she just says when in Rome a lot. And she also says, see you next Tuesday whenever people leave the house. So no one
Brilliant.
I think she's picked that up from you. But yeah, she's like, I'll be like, Pickle, where's the rest of that chicken? And she'll be like, I don't know, what a commumbrance. All right, okay. When in Rome. Okay, when in Rome.
our first canine entry to the.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You should ask Sarah Perry what one of a Murphyism, because I'm sure Murphy's got some as well.
Oh, I've heard
Okay.
Murphy. Well, I've actually heard Murphy quite a lot. Murphy makes an appearance every time we speak with Sarah. It's absolutely brilliant.
Fucking loves Murphy, but Murphy recently told Pickle that he's got bitches in all area codes and she should chill her toe beans. So Pickle's not happy about it.
Okay, right. Music. Last time you gave us Frightened Rabbit, Foot Shooter. This time you've got the chance. Not many people get the chance to come back with another entry. So, what is Allie Bailey going to? No. What is Allie Bailey going to bless us with?
Fontaine's DC. I love Fontaine's DC. I love them. They are my favourite band currently. And they have got a song called It's Amazing to Be Young. And I love that song, even though I'm not young anymore. So, but basically, anything that Fontaine's DC have ever done is brilliant. But It's Amazing to Be Young. I love singing that to Pickle. It's a great running song. In fact, if you go onto This Is Fontaine's DC, the playlist on Spotify, that's one of the best running Spotify playlists. So good.
Brilliant. I agree. Fontaine's DC are quite magnificent. And we're all young. Age is only a number. Age is only a number.
That is true.
That has rocketed in
true.
to the playlist.
Is submitted into La Buff Buff Collection Volume 12.
Yeah.
Volume 12?
We have playlists coming out our lugs.
Yeah.
Can I, quick side question, are you a football fan in any way, shape or form?
Absolutely not. No, Damien is, and he's an Arsenal fan, and he turns into an absolute bellend when the football's on. Honestly, you've never seen anything like it. And my sister is a Tottenham fan. My whole family are Tottenham fans. You can only imagine the hellish nature of fun time chats, those two fucking going at each other about football. It's ridiculous. I hate football.
That's okay. We've got a little football link into our theme for the season, which is going to be around about the World Cup and things like that are happening as well. So thank you very much.
I like Wrexham because I watched that Wrexham programme with the one about Wrexham. I love that, so I do like Wrexham.
Brilliant. There we go. We've got a link. Thank you very much. It says in the introduction, Allie brings authenticity, warmth, and a trademark rebellious spirit that inspires runners and non-runners alike. That is 100% true.
I haven't trademarked my rebellious spirit, but I'll make sure to do it this week. I'll put it on my to-do list.
Well, I have absolutely loved this whistle stop tour with you tonight. So thank you very much, Ali. I'm going to hand over to Stephen to say a thank you and a cheerio.
Ali, it's been great catching up. I've just been sitting chuckling.
Thank you. I love you both. You're very, very special men, and you're doing great work. Well done.
Yes. Thank you so much for your time, and go buy the book.
I love you. Bye.